We're back! How are you?
I'm here for the first time and I'm good.
Yeah?
How you doing, man?
I'm really well. This is Omar from Plato Project.
Hello, world.
This is 5,272 followers on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Nice.
Don't be
Very
shy.
good. Hello, everyone.
So, Plato Project. Tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, sure. So Plato, for me, was a response to a few different frustrations that I had and my co-founders had.
Yep.
In no particular order. Number one, the gap between education and industry.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is the formal education system, for a whole bunch of really valid reasons, struggle to provide outcome-focused business education, which actually meets the current needs of industry.
Yep.
And again, there are a whole bunch of really valid reasons for it.
Yep.
The simple fact of the matter is it can take minimum 6 to 12 months for a university or a formal education provider to make a curriculum change.
Right.
And we all know that industry moves a heck of a lot faster than that.
Sure.
So closing that gap was
Yep.
one thing.
Yep.
Second thing was this idea of entrepreneurialism, and in my opinion and those of my co-founders, entrepreneurship's become this thing that's all about the modern day rock star, you know, and setting up a startup and becoming really rich really quickly.
Yep.
And I think that narrows the power of entrepreneurship and the opportunity of entrepreneurship.
Yep.
So what we want people to realize is that entrepreneurship can be a whole bunch of different things.
Yep.
You know, it can be setting up a corner shop if that's what's going to make you happy. It doesn't have to be about setting up a fintech app or something like that. And so helping people understand what entrepreneurship is and what it can be, it's something that's sort of got me into a lot of trouble and
Yep.
got me out of a lot of trouble and
Sure.
turned my life around. So it's something we're really, really passionate about.
So you see a lot of people that come into your courses?
Yeah.
Do they see themselves as entrepreneurs, or are they looking to become entrepreneurs, or?
Yeah, so it's a good question. We've got programs across a whole variety of topics and subject matters: leadership, strategy, innovation, customer experience, and
Yep.
startup.
Yep.
And so the people that come to the startup program
Yep.
are either aspiring entrepreneurs or people that work with entrepreneurs and want to have a better idea of what it's actually like to become an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Into our other programs though, leadership, innovation, etc., what we get are people that like the idea of entrepreneurship, but they want to deploy it within the established frameworks of their employment or their existing organisation, and they're trying to understand.
Potentially intrapreneurs?
Yeah, exactly.
So you see a lot more people, maybe not, you see a lot more people in a formal environment than I do.
Sure.
Obviously I'm exposed to a lot more people just
Yeah.
because I am an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and a lot of people come to me because they've got ideas and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Do you think entrepreneurs are born or made?
Yeah, great question. Depends how you define entrepreneur,
Okay.
right? So, ironically, the best definition of entrepreneurship that I've come across
Yep.
is out of Harvard Business School.
Yep.
You know, many people will say it's sort of the antithesis of entrepreneurship, but that definition is that entrepreneurship is the pursuit of opportunity without regards to resources currently controlled. So in other words, you see an opportunity or you find an opportunity and you make the most of it
Yep.
wherever you are,
Yep.
whatever you've got and
I
whatever
like
you
that.
don't have.
That's a very different spin to what I've always visualized as
Sure.
an entrepreneur. So just to dial back over to this side of the table for a minute, it was only in my I believe I was born an entrepreneur, and I grew up in a very entrepreneurial household where I used to walk out of my bedroom and there were placards and awards that my dad had won being an entrepreneur, who by the way dropped out of school in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Became this built an amazingly successful business off an idea. And I used to walk out of my bedroom and see all these placards and all of these awards, and I very distinctly remember my mum made a birthday cake for my dad.
Sure.
And actually got his face printed on it with
Yeah,
a little speech bubble that said, "I did it my way."
Love it.
And I was kind of my bedroom, bathroom, you know. So and these sort of subliminal messages were there. At the age of 23, I really understood what an entrepreneur was, because intrinsically, my wife said, "Toes, we just need a patch of backyard on our balcony," and I kid you not, for the next 10 years, I had an out of body experience.
Sure.
Following this path and this journey just felt so natural.
Yeah.
I wasn't trained,
Yeah.
educated, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And before you knew it, I had a company that was, 150 countries of distribution, and we're selling a great product.
Sure.
The point of the conversation or the jostle is that I can tell you with full confidence that the entrepreneurial instinct in me took over.
Yep.
And then I came to that realization that I'm an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Totally.
And stuff was happening.
Yeah. So I think where I think you just made a really interesting point is you said your entrepreneurial instinct took over. And that's what I think you can be born with. I think you're born with an entrepreneurial spirit, an entrepreneurial instinct, but I think it's only when you apply that in a variety of ways do you actually become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so your story around Petloo, that's what it's called, right? Yeah. That made you an entrepreneur.
That sort of brought me out.
Yes, sure.
As an entrepreneur, that actually it defined me in many ways.
Yep.
It was like, holy shit, this is like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trained and educated, and I never aspired to be one. In fact, as a student.
Yeah.
By the way, I hated school. I don't know if
I was the same.
Yeah,
I got kicked out.
I didn't go that far, but I quit uni.
Yeah.
Because I tried to keep up with kids and my friends who were all lawyers, doctors, so on and so forth.
Sure.
And I became a podiatrist.
Yeah.
And then after 3 years of studying fungus and disease, I was like, this isn't for me.
Awesome.
But I didn't know who I was professionally.
Sure.
And then hey, we just need to patch a backyard on the back. It was like, boom, the lights went on.
Yeah.
And then I had this out-of-body experience, just kind of executing this vision.
Sure.
With no formal education.
Sure.
Just inside came out.
Yeah, totally. And so I get that, and I love that. And I think that is exactly what we need to use a wanky word, to empower in everybody.
Yep.
But I don't think that we need to say the only way you can become an entrepreneur is if you take that route, which is a route that should be absolutely celebrated and congratulated. But if you had that same idea and then you went to, say, somebody you were working with and said, hey, I had this freaking idea, I think there's something to it, let's do it. And then let's say the employer said, cool, let's make that happen. I'm only going to give you a few hours a week and 10 grand to make it work. Is that person any less of an entrepreneur?
No.
Exactly. And that's the thing I think we need to really
build
and celebrate.
I agree. And actually, when I think about the way you've positioned it based off the Harvard description, that's a very different lens to the same point that I've always visualized. But that person is in your example, that person is no less an entrepreneur. I feel like that's that person coming out going,
exactly right.
I've got to be relentless in the pursuit of my vision. I've got to get people subscribed to my mission. And I've got to charge towards the goal, and I've got to be relentless. And when I get kicked in the nuts, that's sort of, that's almost like validation.
Yeah, totally.
And the weak quit. And the strong sort of tolerate the storm and continue forward.
So I think what's interesting there, a couple of different things. So something we talk a lot about is this idea of the growth mindset, and that is this idea that through concerted effort, anyone can develop a capability. And so the idea of being born with entrepreneurialism or entrepreneurial spirit, I think absolutely exists. But I don't think that people that aren't born with that are precluded from being able to train their mind to find opportunities and to develop genuine passion and commitment to capitalizing on our opportunity. And I think if we can embrace that and we can make that available to more people in employment, in corporate world, I think number one, we can solve a lot of social issues, and number two, we can create a lot of financial value for everybody. And I think that's a really exciting thing.
I got goosebumps, genuinely. I really like that. You see a lot of people like this all day, every day at Plato?
Yeah, we do. I mean, there are the, I'll say, the ready few that are prepared to do what it takes to go and start their startup and work for themselves. That idea of jumping off a cliff without a parachute, I can get it, but it's not the only way. And so what we see a lot of is that people that are sort of halfway and they're looking for that support, they're looking for that education, the community to help them take that leap. But then there are people that simply don't want to do that, but they want to make their existing organizations better. And that's where we sort of, through leadership, through innovation, through other things, through mindset, we can help established and existing organizations to become more entrepreneurially minded and again create that flow through. So, across that broad spectrum, everybody's somewhere on that spectrum. What Plato's about is trying to take everybody where they are and help move them along.
So platoproject.com.au?
ThePlatoProject.com.
I'll link it in the description below, mate. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I want to do some more of this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I think that a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people come to you and you have a portfolio of solutions and courses for people to work through. A lot of people come to me and say, hey, I got this idea, but I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to try and foster that. I think Australia, like I spent the last 8 years in the US, you know, it's go time over there. Here I feel like we have, like, there's cracks that are just appearing in a positive way, as in breakthroughs about to happen. And I want to try and sort of help foster that.
We've got to put Melbourne on the map.
Yeah, Melbourne, Australia, I think across all sectors of entrepreneurship.
For sure.
So, mate, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I will link all the descriptions in the below. That's a wrap for this week. I'll be back next week. I've got a great list of, a great lineup coming. And continue to tune in.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right.